Hi there, I'm Clifford Bates, and welcome once again to reading Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics. Today we're at the last chapter of Book 8, chapter 14, which is the final chapter in 8. Uh, uh, and it's the first book, the two books. Book 8 deals with friendship, and 9 deals with friendship. So we're at the midpoint of our discussion of friendship. So, so let's wrap up book 8 today with looking at chapter 14. But differences arise also in friendship based on superiority, right? So, if last times we did the question of the different types of friendships, and and we talked about the different types of friendships, then the questions of the three types, but then the ones of equality and superiority, and then did logic of that, and then we dealt with the questions of, well, what about disputes that arise because of it, and friendships on on virtue, the friendship of the good, the friendship of the virtue, and the friendships on pleasure aren't going to have that many accusations. Whereas the friendships based on utility wasn't dealt with that. So now we're dealing with the questions of differences also arise in superiority, based on superiority. Since differences also arise in friendships based on superiority, since each thinks he is worthy of having more. And when this happens, the friendship is dissolved, right? In other words, the friendship ends. That I, based on superiority, but I deserve more. This idea, I deserve more. I don't deserve this in that sense. For he who is better supposes that it is proper that he having more, it is who is better that it is proper that he having more, since it is proper to distribute more to the person who's good, right? This idea that I'm better than you, I'm better, I should get more, and I should get more, right? Similar to is the case, and once that happens, the sense that there's this idea, I deserve as much, or I deserve as more. I don't. In other words, if I think I should deserve as much as you, then the relation, if this is inferior relationship to this, if I think, oh no, I'm just as good as you, I should get as much good as you, then the friendship is dissolved, the relationship is dissolved in that sense. Similarly, to is the case of the greater benefactor, right? For people assert that someone who is useless ought not to have what is equal, right? The relation becomes a matter of charitable service, not a friendship, if what comes from the friend will not accord with the worth of the friend's deed. So in other words, again, this is the problem. Some assert that what matter, in other words, friendship and benefaction to each other is based upon equality, right? That if someone who is useless ought not to have what is equal, right? If I'm useless to you. I can't benefit you. I can't do this. Not equal. It's useless to have what is equal. The relation becomes a matter of charitable service. I'm I'm giving you not because I think you're equal. I give this because I'm, I'm, you need it for you, charitable service, and not a friendship of what comes from the friendship. In other words, and not a friendship. If what comes from the friendship will not, it will not accord with the worths of the friend's deeds. In other words, if the deeds that the person do that your friend is doing is not really worth much, then it's not your relationship is not based upon the benefit or the goodness of the deeds, but rather charity in that sense, right? For people suppose that just as in the financial partnership, financial relation, right? Those who contribute more receive more. So it ought to be in friendship too. So therefore, there's some people who view this in this sense, that those who do more should, people that who contribute more should get more. The people who do more should get more, right? This should be what is true in the contractual business world, should also in financial world, and that's the business world, should also be seen in the friendship as well. But he who is in need and is the inferior asserts the converse, that what belongs to a good friend, to aid those in need. In other words, what belongs to a good friend is to aid one of those. You're my friend. You're my friend. You should benefit me. So it's the opposite in that sense. The he who is in need and inferior asserts the converse. The one who is superior thinks I should get the good things. The one who needs is that no, it's you're my friend. You should benefit me. You should aid me. What I need it. Therefore, you should give it to me. It comes to a good friend to aid those in need, for they assert what advantage is there in being a friend of a serious or powerful person if there's no benefit to be enjoyed by the friendship, right? What benefit? So again, seems to be the relationship here in this thing between the two seems to be one of utility in that sense, not of virtue or that. But even if it was, the virtues could be separate. The idea is the virtues could be separate. And even the virtue, the thing of virtue, is thus really seen not on its own terms. The character of virtue or the goodness is not seen in its own terms, but what is useful and beneficial to the parties. So that both parties are looking at this from the point of view of beneficiality, right? Utility in that sense, right? That if what is the point of being a point of a serious a spudaios or a powerful person if there's no benefit to be enjoyed from the friendship, right? It seems then that each partner correctly deems himself worthy of something. That is, one ought to distribute more to each of them from the friendship, but not more of the same things, right? In other words, but it's not that they deserve more of the same things. Rather, to the person who is superior, one ought to distribute honor, and to the one who is in need, gain. So, in other words, that the relationship here is like this. That it was each one. In other words, it seems correctly. This seems that I deserve honor, respect to you, and then the other person is getting benefit, gain, some utility, some useful, some things. Honor is the reward of virtue and benefaction, whereas aid is the gain appropriate to need, right? So therefore, I'm in relationship to need. I should be getting this. Okay, this is that. This is where I think I disagree. Okay, it appears to be this way also in regimes. So this is in other words, this is a point about this. This issue about like this. This also seems it also appears this way in regimes, the political question. For he who provides nothing good to the common, okay, um, this is the word, literally the Greek word is tokono, the common, not community, not koinonia. So bye bye. I mean, why did you do this? Bar- Robert Bartlett, why did you do this? Sue Collins, why did you put community here? Good to the community. It's what is the common. In other words, nothing good to the common, the shared thing of the community, the common, is not honored. So he provides nothing to the common is not honored, since what is held in common is given to the person who benefits the community. In other words, that what is held in common is given to the person that benefits the community, and honor is held in common in that sense, right? Honor is, for it is not possible to make money from common affairs. So, I mean, I'm sorry. Hey, Aristotle, all American politicians do this. They become millionaires. This is the weird thing. You used to get honor, but what happens is not honor. It's not honor anymore. That, the likes of Nancy Pelosi and these people, the, Bidens of the world, they're become Obamas. They're not satisfied with just honor. They want the money. I need to live like a king, and I need something about honor requires the wealth that goes with it. In other words, the honor without wealth is not honor in that perspective. This idea, and therefore that's the problem here. We give honor. I've done good service. I deserve honor, but honor used to be just I respect you. I show you respect. I give you these things. Well, what's good is that? What is that? This was the problem. Is that Truman went home to poverty. Right? People, this is even the thing of Coriolanus. Coriolanus went back to his farm. Right? The old myth of this was that you went back to what you had, not you didn't expect that you'd be given wealth beyond your means. But today, our political class wants I deserve. I'm powerful. This is what led to the stupidity of government. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Freddie Mac was a government thing. Therefore, the pay should have been low level. Oh, but Freddie Mae and Freddie Mac, this is like corporations. Look at those corporations get on millions of dollars. Why can't I get millions of dollars also? I'm a big government official. I should have as much money as the private sector makes. Oh, you're not doing the same thing as the private sector. I'm sorry, it's a different thing. Why should you be paid that much? No, you should be paid nothing. In fact, maybe we shouldn't pay you anything at all. Maybe it should be just the honor of the thing. Just the honor. Sorry, it's the honor. You don't want to do it? Fine. We'll get other people who can do it. Maybe we'll recruit some of these successful people and say, hey, you're a millionaire. Maybe you want to surrender your time and do your service to your country and do like this. You're a millionaire, you're a service, you're a successful businessman, you've done this. We need a treasurer of this. Go ahead. Now we can put restrictions on that to say you can't benefit and make yourself give your contracts to your own company and things like that. But that's what the Greeks did in that sense. But our world is we demand that this guy who's nothing, who comes from nothing, who's able to convince people to elect him, and puts himself in positions of power and authority. That all of a sudden I deserve the greatest wealth and power, and I deserve the greatest. It's honor is not enough. It's wealth is that matters. I must have as much as those people have over there. So therefore, this is the funny part about this. It is not possible to make money from the common affairs and at the same time be honored by the community. This is no one, because that's the thing. If you're making money from doing the common goods, then you're not going to get honor. You're not going to get respect. The person who gets respect and honor is the one who's not. This is why, ironically, we look at this is the world we live in, where someone looks at Trump. No one gives Trump doing things for nothing. It's not viewed honorably. It's oh yeah. Whereas the criminal class like Pelosi's and Obama's and these people who become millionaires, multi-millionaires through using their public office, demand that they get respected. And this is the upside down world we live in that sense. No one puts up with having a lesser share in all things. And so people distribute honors to the person who, in performing benefactions, right, suffers a momentary loss and then gives money to the person who accepts gifts, right? Here, the term dorotokos has the negative connotation of those who accept not just gifts, but bribes, right? This is who accepts bribes in that sense, suffers a monetary loss and then gives money to the person who accepts bribes. In other words, this is the problem. Okay. The the Democrats, these Democrats who take money, and even let's say Republicans who took money, the Bushes of the world. The Bushes were millionaires already, but people who took more money came from nothing and then became wealthy. The Cheneys of the world used their power to get big corporations, right? Came from white trash, right? Cheneys came mostly from lower middle class white trash, who got because of political power, got access to power, who got access to wealth, right? This is the kind of thing about this that they want the money. They give them gifts. We give them gifts of bribes, right? Donanos. For what accords with merit equalizes. So again, let's go to this. We are interrupted again. Wife bringing things and altruism. For what accords with merit equalizes and preserves friendship. So, what is merit equalizes and preserves friendship, as has been said, right? So, what accords with merit? What you deserve versus what you don't deserve. You want bribes, you want things like this, you want more than you deserve. In other words, a distinction of those who just get the honors that you deserve. That equalizes the friendship. But if you demand more than what you deserve, that destroys the friendship, right? Destroys even the equity-based friendship in that sense, right? Um, so what accords with merit equalize and preserve the friendship, as we said, and it is in this way too. Therefore, one must associate with those who are unequal, right? In this way, therefore, one must associate with those who are unequal. And someone who has benefited in money or virtue must give honor in return, thus giving back what he can. So, therefore, this is the thing, both in friendship and society. So, if we expect this is in society, the regime, people who do great things, we give back honor to them. We should do the same thing. Those who give money and good benefit, we should give them honor back. We can't give them what is the same thing in return, right? If who benefit in money or virtue, one must honor in return, thus giving back what he can. For friendship seeks what is possible, not what accords with merit of the giver. In that sense, that this is, in other words, what is possible. Friendship is about the possible, like politics is about the possible too. Friendship. This is the thing very interesting. Friendship and politics are the possible. Um, is in other words, friendship seeks what is possible. Okay, not what accords with merit of the giver. In other words, the merit of the giver, the worth of the giver. Um, uh, that is not, the merit of the giver is very low. Then or high. The question is what can be done, right? That the merit does the merit deserve it? The question is what is possible, and it must be reciprocal. If he's done benefit to us, if there's some good or benefit towards us, and has done good some benefit to the society, we should give him honor. In that sense, in fact, it is not even possible in every case to do so, to give back with merit in that sense, right? As in the honors directed towards the gods and parents, right? For no one could ever repay what they merit. In other words, you can never give them what they merit. This is the problem. That if someone has benefited you something great, there's no repayment. But again, this is Memorial Day weekend's in the U.S. coming up soon, right? I think maybe we even had it already. The U.S. Memorial Day weekend might have already happened in the U.S. This is the last week in May, so I think today might be Memorial Day in the U.S. Right? Um, I think Memorial Day may be today. I'm not incorrect. Okay, I'm recording this on the 20. No, May. So it's end of May. This is April. So no. So, but you'll be getting when you see this, and you'll be seeing this when this is released. It'll be middle of May. So in a couple of weeks, you have Memorial Day in the United States, which is memorializing those who sacrificed their lives for the country. Um, and therefore, they sacrificed their lives. How can you pay them equal? You have to. In other words, there's nothing. This is like the things this honor of those like your obligations to a parents and gods are. There's no way you can pay what they merit. The greatest the benefit. It's not. There's nothing that he says. In other words, one must. In other words. In fact, it is not even possible in some cases to do so, as in the honors directed towards the gods or parents, for no one could ever repay what they merit, though he who does service to them to the extent of his capacity is held to be decent. In other words, I cannot repay you everything, but I can show you to my capacity. So therefore, this is the things that you owe infinite obligation to. Then you owe an obligation to a certain level of your capacity to do so, to do this, to show honor and to do good for. This is the kind of aspect of this, and this is would be interesting. Now let's continue here. This is hence too it would be impossible for a son to renounce his father, but possible for a father to renounce his son. Hence, in other words, it'd be impossible for a son to renounce his father because he owes him everything, right? But possible for a father to renounce his son. Why? Because the son, they think he's done dishonor to me, showed respect, does something horrible, and I must disown you, right? For the son must repay the debt, but nothing he may do is worthy of what was done for him. With the result is that he is always in debt. Now, this is what we all. I'm going to the metaphor here about the father to the son can also be applied to those who sacrifice their lives for their country. That those who've lost their lives, who've given their lives, and that's not necessarily by dying, but maybe sacrifice their physical body, their lives, their mental state, or things like this. They have sacrificed them. So they have sacrificed themselves to this, and that is a debt that the rest of us, the others who in the society, has benefited from that. That was the question. Is then, wait a minute, you go back over here, utility, but we didn't want you to do that. Sorry, you are a member of a community. You are a member of a community. This is the problem with libertarian thinking. The libertarian thinking in the last chapter about, oh, we must have this complete, we must have this voluntary acceptance of this. Now, Aristotle's right about this. Sacrifice is not based upon a utility relationship. It's based on the conception of love, affection for your fellow man, affection for your fellow citizens, in this fundamental sense. And therefore, this is this what they've done here is they have done this, and you have not. Now, maybe you don't want it. You and your particular self may not want that, but you're still a member of the community. You are still a member of that thing. You benefited from that sacrifice. You have benefited and gotten some good from it in that sense. It was done, and therefore you owe a debt. You owe a debt in that sense. We owe a debt to that person for what they did. And therefore they're owed. And we do that with honor. The argument is honor, respect, and that things. In other words, a son must pay, but those who are owed have a capacity to discharge the debt. And certainly the father does, right? They're owed, they have a capacity to, I can say, I don't have to pay you. At the same time, perhaps, it seems that no father would ever cut off a son who was not exceeding corruption. Therefore, it's going to be very difficult for a father to think. In other words, no father would cut off a son who was not of exceeding corruption. It's going to be bad, really bad, bad, and even then, it's people like. For even apart from their natural friendship, but natural affection, natural friendship, affiliation, friendship, philia, right? Natural philia by nature, right? It is characteristically human not to reject aid. So in other words, there's something human in us that we, even apart from the friendship, right? There's something characteristically human not to reject aid. Yet for the son who is corrupt, aiding his father is something he avoids or does not eagerly pursue. In other words, the son who's corrupt, aiding his father is something he avoids. In other words, it's to reject aid, both the giving and offering it. It's something it's characteristic human to offer aid, not to reject aid, not to reject aid both in the receiving and giving. I think that's to be understood here. Yet for the son who is corrupt, aiding the father is something he avoids, or at least is not eagerly pursued. For the many wish, the many wish to be done a good turn, but they avoid doing one on the grounds that it's unprofitable. So a very important general claim here that most people want to have done to them a good thing, but they avoid doing one because it costs too much. It's unprofitable. It costs too much. The cost is too high. or they can't afford it. They don't have the means to do it. It's unprofitable. They don't see the benefit from it. They're not going to get something from it. Okay, that is the problem here. That is the general human thing. This is where Machiavelli talks about the ungratitude. This is very much echoes with Machiavelli's thinking about the many. The many are going to promise you many things, but when times are good, but when times are bad, they run away. Right? That famous line from Machiavelli. Well, that echoes this perfectly. This is another point where Aristotle and Machiavelli are not that far apart here in that sense. Let us concern these matters. Let what concerns these matters then be spoken of this extent. So this issue of here about this obligation to each other. What is that? He ends that the discussion here, and he ends the chapter. Well, with that, we're going to stop here. If you have any comments or questions or issues that you want to address or ask what things that you think you want clarification, please put it in below and I will respond. If you liked it, hit the like button, hit like the chapter, hit plus thumbs up. Please, it helps the algorithm. The more you like it, the more attention we get. We're still kind of low numbers. Okay, I understand people don't always watch the series, but we've done it. So like it, please. It helps. If you liked it, share it with your friends. Share it on your social media. Share it to far and wide. Share it around. Again, the more you share it far and wide. Why? Because it helps the YouTube algorithm to get more attention to the site, and people when they search, they can find us. Right. Another thing is if you have not subscribed and you've been here already, please consider subscribing. Again, more subscriptions help build the channel. We want to grow the channel some more. We're getting close to the near 500, the big 500 mark. Another thing you can do is we can, if you know someone who has a friend who likes to do it, encourage them to come visit the channel. If you just here for the first time and you like what we're doing, please subscribe also. Also, those of your friends, I encourage them to come check it out. People who might be interested in these kind of topics or issues, come tell them to check the channel. Maybe they'll grow also. Another way you can do is you want to follow me on social media. The social media links, my social media links are below. If you want to know more about me as a researcher, a scholar, and see my research and things like that, you can check out my academic social media links below the social media links. And if you want to contribute or assist me on these things financially in that sense, you can do so through, like, you want to be a patron, you want to be a donor to help us, right? You can do so through Patreon or Subscribestar. Links are below. Another thing you can do is if you want to buy one of my books, you can buy one of my books. The books are listed below. You can order through your local bookstore or through an online distributor, Amazon or Barnes & Noble or whatever version, other sites that are available out there. Or you can do so through the publisher directly. But again, some publishers are going to have more. My Washington University, you can only order the e-copy. Well, they're out of the print. I'm hoping they're going to reprint the book. And we'll, that's it in that sense. Well, okay, that's it. Next time we meet, we'll be looking at chapter 9, book 9, book 9, continue friendship discussion in book 9. Take care and see you later. Bye-bye.